Good afternoon, everybody. This is Donnie. I'm at the property today. I came up to do a little work. I repaired one of the chain link gates. It's I guess it's about 5 foot wide. It's a 4 foot tall gate, and we need it for up front. We're still needing a few more, but I'm finished for today. I'm very tired, and so I'm just riding back, checking the property right quick before I leave. It's about to get dark, and I don't want to be out here when it gets dark. The property gets quite creepy. There's a lot of strange stuff that goes on over here. I had a full intention of hitting record and going to share something with you. I hit record and then I remembered I didn't lock the gate. I'm in the front door. I can't even think. I'm so tired. So I got out of the truck and I went to lock the front door and got it secured. And now I can't remember what it was I was going to mention to you. I have no idea. I need to put the camera out on the let me do some rearranging. I think I'm going to put the camera on the hood where you guys can see, because it's getting late and there's a possibility we may see something, a deer or a rabbit or something of the sorts. I just heard a very strange noise right here. But anyhow, I've got a magnet mount somewhere in here. If I got it, then I will, I'll throw it on the hood and I'll just put the camera up on the hood. All right, let me stop this for a second. It may be in the back. Got to get back there and check. All right. I hope the microphone keeps working. To run the wireless mic, it's got a receiver that connects to the camera, and I do not have my that protective shell around the outside of my camera. It's actually got a mount that I strap that receiver onto, so that it's not just dangling by the connector. So right now I'm not using that protective shell, and so the receiver is just dangling there, so it may become disconnected. I hope it doesn't. If it does, maybe I can catch it before we go too far. All right, this road right here takes you all the way to the south end of the property. I'm going to pull down. I just want to check and make sure the gate hasn't been tore down. I've got to come in here and put some new posts up and run some new cable. The posts aren't the problem. I got it. I've just got to find some cable, some good heavy quality cable, 1/2-inch cable, that I can drill a hole through the post and I can just run it through all the posts as a barrier to keep people out. I don't know if you could tell if you look at the road. That is four-wheeler tracks, and it's not mine. I came up here day before yesterday and I seen them, and they were fresh tracks, and they came in from the back of the property from the south end. And we have, I don't know, 150 signs in the back, no trespassing, and we have the purple stripes painted on some of the trees. But there's a sign every 30 foot. Some of it is maybe 10 or 12 foot between signs, but any one spot at the back boundary, you can just look one direction and you'll probably see 20 to 25 signs. So there's no way they did not see the signs. They're just coming on the property. But anyhow, when I came here the other day, this little spot we're coming up to, there's a road that branches off that goes to the right. It's probably 50 yards in front of us now. I parked right there at that intersection. And I went to the right, all the way to the property boundary, and it's really creepy. Matter of fact, I'll go this way, I'll show you. But I parked right here, just like this. And when I came back, I went all the way down to the south end of the property, and when I turned around and was heading back to the truck, I had the sensation of a predator watching me. I don't know that it was actually a predator, but I absolutely felt like I was in danger. It was a very bad feeling, very, very scary feeling. I didn't see anything, I didn't hear anything, nothing happened out of the ordinary other than just that overwhelming feeling of I was in a bad spot, in a bad situation, and I needed to go. It literally felt like something was going to happen to me. Okay, I'm going to turn around right here. If we keep going down there, it's very hard to turn around. There's no turnaround spot. I would have to back up. If you guys happen to see anything, please make note of the timestamp, and if you don't mind, if you could shoot me an email with a timestamp of what you've seen, I would greatly appreciate it. This is a tight spot right here. I need to come in here and clear some more trees out. This Suburban doesn't turn good. I would be in a pickle if I had to turn around real fast back here. Guys, I wanted to just send a big thank you and lots of love and hugs to all of you guys and gals that have reached out to me, checking on us. It's been a blessing, and we absolutely appreciate it far more than you might realize. We've been so busy, it's just been hard to do any editing. I do have some footage. I filmed the walk the other day when I was up here, and something just hit the roof of the truck. When I had that sensation of being watched by a predator, I felt like I was being hunted. And it lasted. I got in the truck, and it lasted until I got down there past the shooting house, the big tower blind that's in the road. It wasn't as strong at all down there. But right here to the right, I've got a ground blind right here where I just stopped. There's a ground blind back there, roughly 200 yards, 180 to 200 yards. And that's a dove in the road. Yeah, that's a dove. He's fixing to hop up. He's right in front of the truck. Hop up, buddy. Come on now. There he goes. All right, I was right about here. Maybe a little further down the road. Yeah, I was somewhere right up in here when that feeling of having eyes on me with bad intent, when I got that feeling, that's when it started. And it didn't start until I was walking back. When I was walking, coming this direction, I didn't feel anything. There was nothing. There was no odors. I heard nothing. It was just a sensation that I was about to be in a very bad situation. That's what it felt like, that I was in serious trouble, or about to be in serious trouble, and which I got out. This is our southern end of the property. This is the boundary. See if I can get turned around without clipping a tree again. If you see any scars on the trees right here, that's from me. I'm constantly running into them, trying to get turned around. I just don't have enough spot or space for this truck to turn. I can't even go around when you're driving through a city and they have them turnaround spots where you can make a U-turn and go back the opposite direction. I can't do that in this truck. When I go to make the turn, I have to pull all the way up almost to the curb on the opposite side and then back up and then go forward. I have to do a 2-point turn just to make a U-turn. It's ridiculous. But if I turn the steering wheel all the way as hard as it'll go one direction, one of my tires turns significantly more than the other tire, and it leans real bad, and it starts hopping and jumping, making the whole truck jump. I'm afraid it's going to break off. I got to get a drink. Boy, it is just, it's creepy right here. Really, really creepy. That was good. I meant to get a drink before I started recording. Just haven't done it. This spot right here to the left, I don't know if there's enough room to, let me see if I can back up. I'll swing the camera that way just a little bit. All right, that's about all I can go right there. All right, back in there, that's where I was getting that feeling of a predator watching me. It was coming from that direction. I don't know what it was. I don't have a clue what it was. You know what? Stand by just a moment. I'm going to stop recording, and I'm going to change my camera lens setting to the wide, because I just noticed I can see the screen and it's just not showing much. All right, stand by. All right, maybe that's a little better. When I was getting that sensation of something staring at me with an intent to eat me, or I don't know what it was coming from back that direction, somewhere back up in there. I can almost pinpoint, within 20 feet of the slot where he would have been at, or it would have been at. I'm getting a feeling right now, a bad feeling. Let me get back in the truck. Yeah, I got a really bad feeling already. I've come through here a lot ever since we've had the property, and I've been in spots where I would get the feeling of being watched. Very, very uneasy feeling. And I'll come back sometime later, a day, 2 days, a week, and I can go back to that same spot and I'd film again, filming while I'm out there, and I would not experience that sensation again. But it just started, that same sensation of being in danger, and it feels like when we're wild pig hunting, when you start getting close to the wild pigs, there's normally a sentry, and it's always a boar hog, and he'll be a little ways, normally about 20 yards from the group, from the sounder, which is the family of pigs. He'll be by himself, and normally they'll back up to a large tree, and he's got a pretty good view, and he's the lookout. And if there's a sentry, you will sense it, you'll feel him. And I believe it's when he notices you. That's when you get the sensation. And that feeling is the feeling of being in danger. That's the way it feels. And what I'm feeling right now is the exact same thing I felt just the other day when I was out here filming, and I got the same sensation. It's that feeling of being in danger, like there's a predator, a bear. It may be a bear. Let's see where I'm sitting at. Just about directly in front of the camera, almost dead center of the screen. It may be off to the left or right, one way or the other. But it's, if all these trees were cleared, you would absolutely be able to see the ground blind that's out there a couple hundred yards. That ground blind, the last camera that I had in there, I pulled it out about a month and a half ago. I had hundreds of pictures. They were daytime, nighttime, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the heat of the day. They were round the clock, and every picture I got on that camera was bears. It would either be one sort of small black bear, or it would be this big one, or it would be both of them together. And that may be why I'm having this sensation, that those bears may be living in here somewhere real close, and that may be why I'd got that feeling the other day, and now I have it again. But I'm not going back there. I am armed, but I only have my 9mm with me today. I do not have the 10, and I took my other rifle out of the truck and the other pistol, so I literally only have one firearm on me right now. And I'm not going in there with bears here, not with a 9mm. That's an overpowered BB gun, and for people it's fantastic to keep a bad guy off of you, but for animals, especially bears and pigs, large, powerful animals, it's useless. It'll get you hurt or possibly even killed if you shoot a predator with it. But I don't want to find out. I don't want to take the chance to see what happens. Yeah, without a doubt, I've got a very strong, that impression of a predator staring at me right now. Same exact spot that I got it the other day. I'm just going to keep idling down the road and looking. Now, I can't get to the camera if I do see something, but I have my phone on me. So if I spot something, I will film it with the phone, and then I'll add that footage to this. It's got a very strange vibe in the air right now. It almost feels like I'm in a dream. I know that sounds kind of strange, but I don't know how else to explain it. It's just that it almost feels like I'm trespassing, and I know I'm about to get caught. That's what it feels like right now. Very weird feeling. Yes, I have felt that before. I felt it when I was trespassing accidentally, and when I found out where I was at on property I shouldn't have been on. And I get that feeling I'm going to get caught, I'm going to be in trouble, and I'd leave. But that's how it feels right now. But we're not trespassing. This is ours. We are paying tax on it. I'm going to back up just a little bit. I've never seen this. Guys, this is I don't know if I can make the turn. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. All right, right here to the left, see the large pine tree? That is a huge trail going straight back in there. And it is wide open. That's new. I didn't notice it when I was walking. Well, I drove past this point. I didn't walk past it. But I did not notice that the other day. But it is definitely a very wide trail. Now there's a deer crossing back behind us, maybe 30 yards. Man, that is a wide trail. I got cameras with me, but I don't have batteries in them. So here in the next day or two, I'll put a camera up over here and see if we can figure out what it is that's made that trail. Because that's a new one, and it's wide. I didn't see any tire tracks for a possible four-wheeler, but it could be. I'm not saying that it's not. Well, I'm going to get out of here. I want to get out and walk around, but not with the feeling of what I believe to be a predator watching me. I'm not going to get out. I'm not going to take the chance. If I were to run into a bear, I've got just a really bad fear of bears. I've never been attacked. I've never had a close call with one. Nothing's ever happened. I don't know why I'm so afraid of them. But I've got a tremendous fear of bears, and I don't want to be around them at all. A lot of the areas where we used to hunt, bears have moved in. And when I started getting bears on my game cameras, I quit hunting those areas. And one of them was in Calhoun County, which is, I don't remember the name of that area. It's northeast of Weewahitchka, Florida. And that place is just slap packed with deer, with nice bucks, mature bucks, a lot of them. Every time you sit over there in your tree stand, you'll see deer. You'll see them when you're walking to and from your tree stands. It's one of the heaviest loads of deer that I've ever seen on a property is that one. And I probably could have got the largest buck that I've ever harvested if I would have stayed over there and hunted it. But the bears showed up, and so getting a trophy buck doesn't mean anything to me personally. I'm not a trophy hunter. I'd rather hunt somewhere else and get an average 3 or 4 year old buck than to take the chance of running into a bear just to get a 4 or 5 year old buck with humongous horns on his head. I could care less about the horns. They're not that important. I'm going to go up by this direction. This is the old drive. We're going to keep using this, but I'm going to eventually, everything to the right is going to be a pasture for the goats, And then as soon as we get the cherry trees out from the left side, we're going to fence that in too, and let the goats just eat everything. We're not going to clear what's on the left, but we are going to, let's see, let me turn, I'll show you. All of this back here is going to be pasture. Eventually, it'll, trying to get turned, you guys. I got to do a 3-point turn to make the U-turn. All of this right here we're going to clear. And I'll let the goats have it. This big pile in front of us, that's all of the trees and stuff that I took down with the tractor. I've piled them all up right here. And the pile's pretty large. It's, I don't know, 7 feet high, 6 to 7 foot high, the majority of it. But I'm going to be covering it. Oh, there's a tree right there. I just ran into it. I'm going to cover that pile with dirt, just gradually work on covering it, and all that wood will decompose, and we're going to plant pumpkins or watermelons on it. And the goats will be able to come back here, and if it works out right, once we get it planted, and we definitely will have watermelons planted, but we're going to plant pumpkins also. When they're ripe and we can harvest them, the watermelons will harvest first, and then later in the year, when it's time, that September time to start harvesting the pumpkins, we're going to harvest them, and then we're going to open the gates and let the goats come in and just devour, you know, all the vines, everything left growing. We're going to let them come in and just eat everything. Oh, just ran over a stub out. I've got 17 wood poles left to put up in the goat pen. And all I've got to do right here around the house for the dogs is I've got to put in the bracing in the corners. I've got the tension poles up. I just have to put the actual braces in between them and then put the wire on it, crank it tight. And then there's a little gap right. It's on the other side of this gate on that fence line that's going east to west. I've got a little gap right there. I've got to put 2 wooden poles in it and 5 or 6 T-posts, and then I can close that up, but I can't do that until we get the rest of our furniture moved in and our belongings. Then I can close that up. But we're having to put back the trailer up all the way to the front porch. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm headed home. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I love y'all. Be blessed in all you do. If there's anything that I can do for you, please shoot me an email. My email is standinggoatsrescue@yahoo.com. We'll see you guys soon. God bless you. Bye-bye.